Good morning. I'm really pleased to be here. And thank you for setting it up perfectly. I mean, as always, there's a lot to talk about. And I think you're absolutely right. We're really pleased with the top line performance. I mean, to put into perspective, year to date, we have 25 billion plus of orders already in house, a backlog of over 102 billion. So clearly, our transformation journey that we took previously in parts of our business is clearly paying off. With respect to revenue, yes, we've increased our guidance. With 6 months behind us, we clearly see that this is now growing as expected. We expect that to taper off slightly in the next 6 months because, of course, looking at the prior year, that's when the post-pandemic boom started to happen. And with respect to profit, yes, we see that we're at the bottom end of the range, but of course, we see that our journey is paying off step by step. Looking at Siemens Gamesa, they're clearly where we were 3 years ago. I mean, it took time for the rest of the business to get to where they are today, and they're in the midst of it. And they've put together some actions, and they're clearly looking at how to pivot into 24 and beyond.
Maria, and thank you for that answer. You've addressed everything, really. But just can we go back one stage for our viewers who perhaps have looked at your company, looked at the amazing sales figures, but also want to know what is going wrong with Siemens Gamesa and what is being done to sort this out? Because I can't help thinking your share price would be somewhere completely different if it hadn't been for this blot on the landscape the last couple of years.
Look, the energy transition, we need the energy transition to take place, and we need renewable energy. So clearly the market momentum, the positivity on that top line also translates to our wind business. Again, I think back 3 years ago, we were in a similar position for the rest of our business. It took time, hard work, perseverance. I think it wasn't so long ago that we had such, things like supply chain bottlenecks, logistic costs, raw material price increases. That continues to have impact on our long lead business like Siemens Gamesa. Again, they're in the middle of their transformation. We remain confident that they continue to identify the root causes, and they're clearly making progress. And beyond 24, we see that stabilization occurring.
We keep on talking about energy transition in Europe and just the changes that have been taking place on the back of the war in Ukraine, but overall EU energy goals themselves. As you take a look at the order book, how do you think it stands at this stage?
Yeah, I really appreciate that question because our order book, I always say, is the foundation for our future. And of course, we want stability in all of the business conditions, including government initiatives and programs to support us. But I can assure you, I'm very confident with our backlog. This clearly underpins our midterm targets and our targets that we've set for ourselves. So now it's up to all of us, including all of those programs and initiatives, to support that growth. Because again, the energy transition is necessary. We all need to contribute, and we're clearly on our path.
Maria, one of the problems in recent years has been inflation, and that's impacted your sector as well. The cost of various different components, the supply chain issues, getting some of those components where they need to be in factories as well. How does the supply chain look like, and what's the pricing component that you're seeing at this stage?
Yeah, excellent question. I would say compared to last year, we see some stabilization. However, it remains at a high level. Again, supply chain challenges in some of parts of our business, like Siemens Gamesa, do persist. And again, I see this remaining at a high level, both on inflation and both on costs. However, this is something that we're tackling day by day.
Maria, apologies for dragging you back to Gamesa, but I note the CFO is leaving today from that business. You clearly are getting to grips with the challenges within the business. How much longer are we going to see losses reported from Gamesa?
Yeah, you're clearly right. Yes, the CFO of Siemens Gamesa is leaving. I mean, we delisted the business in February, as you know, February 14th. So the profile of that business has changed. We thank her for her dedication, and we wish her well into the future. Again, looking at Siemens Gamesa, I can just repeat, they're in the middle of their transformation. They have things. Jochen and his team are really working tirelessly to address all of those topics. We clearly see that some of those areas are progressing well. The challenges persist. But beyond 24, we see that things will stabilize. We need to give them time that they deserve, as we had time in other parts of our business, to really show that the journey does pay off. We see, and we have a proven track record.